Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.
All right, I'll call it in. If you don't mind. Good evening, one. Good evening, all, and welcome to the ISCA 2025 Super Cup Series. This is the Sugarlands Distilling 250, live from Bristol, the last Coliseum. I think that's the nickname, right, Big Al? Are you excited for tonight's race, buddy?
I'm excited. Joe, I just come off the roof. I'm telling you what, man, boy, I am super excited to be here at Bristol. And I'm going to tell you what, tonight is going to be a spectacular one. I can feel it all the way down in my little water shoes.
Well, I'm pretty excited too, to be honest. Had a good turn here at NIS last night. Looking forward to see how the guys from ISCA tackle this here at the Sugarlands Distilling 250. That's 250 because we've got 250 laps of this beautiful machine right here coming around live, folks. Let's take a look at the conditions as they are now, though. 0.52 miles around single pit road here at Bristol. We've got 3 stages total. Stage 1's going to end at 53. Stage 2 is going to end at lap 90, and the 3rd stage is going to go all the way to 250. 7 sets of tires. The fuel range here is $1.85. So these guys are going to be able to get through the first couple of stages, ideally, without having to do too much other than topping up in case we get a couple of yellows. But let's see how the air looks. 65 in the air, 79 on the track. A little chilly on that direction, but this track is known for chewing up tires regardless on this high banking. So we'll see with wind speed almost 20 miles an hour out of the south. That seemed a little strong. I don't know that that's going to affect too much, but we're going to find out together as we go around here, and we get our picks now up and out of the way for tonight's race. Let's see who the production crew thinks are going to win. So right now, off the jump, you know what? I'll go first here. I think it's going to be Brandon Pasalacqua tonight. I think that it was a gut instinct. Call it that, Big Al. Who do you got?
Yeah, Big Al's definitely going to have to go with Matt DeCiani. Been watching this guy for a while now. Matt has it dialed in. I can tell he's got the fastest laps overall in practice. So definitely going to think he's going to be the guy to beat.
All right, good choice, good choice. Unfortunately, the Professor Sheldon Atkins couldn't be with us tonight. Looking forward to having you back, Sheldon. I hope you and the family are doing all right tonight. And down under, Kobe Jordan, our producer. Who have you got, Kobe Jordan? I forgot again who you picked. You have to tell me.
I'm going to swap it up this week. I think that Randy Mullins, I think he's the guy that's going to do it with a perfect mix of aggression and talent.
All right, Randy Mullins it is. Good choice, good choice. The 54, the 6, and the 1. Everybody's got their picks. We've got them locked in. And next up, we've got the over-under on... let's do the over-under on cautions here. What do you think, Big Al? What are you feeling?
Man, Big Al's going to have to go probably with a number somewhere around 3. That's what I'm going to call 3 cautions, 4 calls. That's what Big Al's going to throw down tonight. What about yourself?
Okay. Now, with the 2 out of the way for the stage, I was going to say 5. So I think they're going to get feisty towards the end here, and potentially we'll see a few, one after the other, as we see a little bit of action here during practice.
Cautions tonight outside of the stage cautions?
I'm going to give 5 total cautions outside of the stage cautions. I'm going to go high. I'm going to aim high.
All right. I like it. And what about you, Kobe?
I'm going to go 6, I think.
All right, from down there, we got 6. 6 is his number. And you guys at home, play along. Please tell us what you think that the operative number of cautions is going to be here tonight as we get ready to go live for tonight's coverage of the Sugarlands Distilling 250.
That's right. I got to remember to start using these race names here. I have always been forgetting to throw them out here. But we've got the great production team over at the ISCA putting these races together for us. Kenny Powell, thank you again for producing this and helping us put these together. And we've got the national anthem coming up here, I think in a few seconds. Oh, after qualifying here. Let's get qualifying done first and see who's going to really be who's going to put down some good times. Now, you mentioned in practice Matt DeCiani. He has been putting down some really impressive times during practice. 14:15 around, very, very fast. One of the fastest times we've got so far. Another fast guy was Randy Mullins with a 14:23. So we'll see how some of these guys do during qualifying here. And like Big Al said, folks, if you're watching or joining us here, let's see. We've got Stephen Hoppett in the chat, says 9 incident cautions. Steve, you expect this to get a little messy?
Aim high, Steve. Put us out here.
Aim high, he says. Hey, you know what? It's not bad.
Not a lot of faith there for the crew.
Well, this can be a very contentious track. We've seen you get a sliding scale. Sometimes, like again, I mentioned NIS, you get a long stretch of green where everybody kind of figures things out, and sometimes you just got stacking yellows where you can't get a restart done without somebody sliding into the corner and just taking out enough cars to cause that yellow to come back out. While we got the qualifying going on in the background, though, let's take a quick look at the ISCA Super Cup Series point standings. Patrick Gitter is in first right now, Matt DeCiani in second, Derek Heitman in third, Brandon Pasalacqua in fourth, Paul Hill in fifth, Tim Wortman Jr. in sixth, Clayton Hoffman in seventh, Joey Preby in eighth, Josh Schaffner in ninth, and rounding out your top 10 is Brian Johnson in the points leads here. It's a pretty sizable lead between DeCiani and Gitter, about a 30-point difference between those two drivers there. Very close between Heitman and DeCiani, though. So there could be a good challenge there for the two of them to do a little bit of shuffling around. We'll see how things go. How do you feel about the championship standings, Big Al?
Yeah, it's going to be up to these guys. I mean, still a long way to go in the season. These guys definitely going to have to do their part at being present. Sometimes it's not just enough to actually, throw life into the mix. And I think that'll be, barring any significant life events, those two might probably keep it like it is, but if one or the other starts to miss, who knows what will happen. That's what I always like to see happen a little bit later on in the season, just because that's when you truly get an epic pick to see how this thing shakes itself out.
Yes, sir. And speaking of some of the times we've had, Patrick Gitter right now is looking really good. He's sitting at the top of the grid with a 14.0. The only person right now who's cracked that. Right behind him, it's Joey Preby, and Matt DiCiani, our leader during practice, is doing really good. He's able to pull out that 14.2 he had during practice and improve on that even just a little bit. My pick, Brandon Pasalacqua, right behind him. So we're looking pretty good for the grid kind of forming up here. A little bit of a shakeup with Gitter moving, Gitter moving up the list from where he was in practice. But nothing. So some of the usual names, some of the usual suspects up here towards the top.
Yeah, you just watched the 94 car go slip sliding away.
Whoa!
Not what you want to see in practice, but yeah, definitely going to leave a mark. Vincent is actually trying to get up onto the thing. He's getting up onto the stage here for the post-race ceremony.
Oh, a little bit of foreshadowing, maybe. All right. Well, we're going to get the national anthem here, folks. And when we come back, we'll be getting ready to grid up these drivers and start this 250. So don't go anywhere.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular upon bird singing out, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey, we are back, folks. Welcome back to Bristol, live with the ISCA Super Cup Series. I think it was a Sugarland 250. Was that the name of it? Anyways, we're going to bring you the
Sugarland Distilling.
Thank you, Sugarland Distilling 250. We're going to bring you the grid right now, and we're going to get ready to go. First place, Patrick Gitter. Second, Joey Preby. Third, Matt DiCiani. Fourth, Brandon Pasalacqua. Fifth, Vincent Crowe. Sixth, Paul Hill. Seventh, Derek Heitman. Eighth, Sean Signor. Thank you. Ninth, Bacon Zelenka. And 10th, Greg Wachinski.
Yeah, and that's going to put Jay Honey in 11th with Randy Belk in 12th. 13th place is going to show us a little Josh Schaffner with Randy Drumhiller there, his paradigm teammate beside him. 15th shows Tim Wortman Jr. with Kevin Zosiak beside him in a 37 car. 17th position is going to show us Nick King. He's going to have the boss himself in the 18th position, Kenny Powell. 19th place is going to show us Jose Medina, and he's going to have none other than J.C. Evans beside him, rounding out the top 20.
Moving into 21, Jeremy Clapper Newell in 21st. 22nd, Brian Johnson. 23rd, Randy Mullins. 24th, Charles Van Schack. 25th, Chris Crosby. 26th, Greg Carr. 27th, Derek Jacobs. 28th, Paul Olson. 29th, David Gervais. And that is going to, I think it's going to round out the field. We did have, unfortunately, I believe we had one injury. So we have one racer who was not able to make it tonight. Oh, shoot, you just told me his name too. Jerry Walters. So sorry about that.
Walters,
yeah, we want to give a shout out to him. Would love to have you back as soon as you're able to. A little bit of an injury there to the shoulder, but we'll see you back very soon, Jerry. Heal up.
Yes,
So
Jerry's gonna be out for 4 weeks. Jerry, if during that time you want to find yourself in the Discord, hey man, we might even bring you up in the booth and you can tell us what happened to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just getting the word from him. So we've got
stuff up. Otherwise, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna tell people I pushed him off a ladder. So I mean, it's gonna be bad.
I saw him wrestling a bear. He did? He actually fell off a ladder?
No, he did. I pushed him.
Oh my goodness! Oh no, Big Al pushed him. That's the important part of the story that you got to remember to add to the story. There was a pair of hands there shoving him off the ladder. So that's really an integral part of the plot.
Wait, you pushed him and I helped save him.
I took the incriminating evidence, so I can blackmail you with it later.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, it's going to be, speaking of pushing, it's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving on this racetrack tonight. Bristol.
You think so?
But this is, to me, this is the pinnacle of short track racing. You know, it's just fast enough that drivers can get a little bit of a breakaway, but those corners are going to keep it tight. And I guarantee you, we're going to be swapping paint. Some guys are going to be swapping fist. I mean, yeah, it's going to get a little groovy out here tonight.
I saw a little give and take yesterday night when I was watching this with the NIS. They did the same length of race. I love Bristol's shape. I love that it's completely surrounded by grandstand because it feels like all the energy is just focused down on that little strip of track. And when you get when the outside line here forms, it just runs like a train around the outside of the track. And passing happens on the outside here. It's kind of exciting. So I'm looking forward, exactly like you said, Miguel, to seeing everything that goes down here tonight. It's going to cover a lot of bases for me in terms of things I like to see in racing in general.
Indeed. Well, it's going to be off on the pace car. This should be a short one as he's actually starting to get her rolling again. Next time we come around, I think that flagman should be waving and getting us going.
Oh, let's see. Everybody's going to stack up.
Pretty quick.
Looks like someone's already got an end of Vincent Crow is already being asked to go to the end of the line there, I think. Nope, he just had to read, had to do a little bit of a shuffle. Or is he waiting? Yeah, there's somebody waiting on the inside. Shuffling back to the end of the line there. As we do get ready to go. Up at the front, Patrick Gitter and Brandon Pasalacqua will be leading things off. Okay, this one should be it as we just crossed the start-finish line. And remember, only about a half a mile lap here at Bristol. It's very fast. Yep, that's the 87. That 87 is Joey Preby, who I believe is falling to the back here. All right.
That just means that Joey's been a bad boy. He's got to go back to the end of the longest line. Now, hopefully, he'll be a good boy this year. We won't have to keep talking about him on the radio like he did something wrong, because, heck, I don't even know if he did. But look at us. We're doubled up. Pace car's out of the way. Take us through the green, Joe.
Here we go. Here comes the green. We are ready to go, go, go. And here we go on the ISCA Live Super Cup Series.
Hey, that 6 car did not get the memo as he was not ready to go.
Wow.
Salak was caught sleeping at the wheel. That allowed Matt DeCiani to get down low below him. Now he is chasing our leader to 21, the Patrick Gitter. Further back in the field, we are 2 by 2 as Josh Schofter slowly tries to make his way. Had a little bit of contact to him by that 12 car, but I think everything's going to buff out.
Whoa!
As well.
Derek Heitman just took a shot from Josh Schaffner, I believe. From the black car a little bit ahead of him there. It was Greg Wachinski, I think, maybe. But he took a hell of a shot there. Derek Heitman was able to hold on to it. Briefly down to the inside at high speed there, but now he's riding the inside line again, getting the car nice and low. He's got back control of it again. Further back, a hornet's nest still forming back there, as it looks like Preby has made his way back up to about the mid-pack. He's trying to chew up the field as fast as he possibly can right now on the outside of Randy Drumhiller. He makes the pass. Joey Preby up to 14th now. Keep watching for some action there.
Yeah, speaking of action, watching that 4 car, Brian Johnson carve his way through the field, and here he is. Big contact 12 car. He's going to go sideways. Johnson's into him. That's going to put the 24 Kenny Powell into him. Right there.
Oh!
Gets him a little bit. Going to have to unpack this one slowly, but definitely going to see a lot of calamity there. Nick King with the 12th car. He's going to be recipient of that dreaded meatball flag, and you see him as he self-spins.
Holy calamity, as they say on the Handsome Boy Modeling School. Oof. Oh, and then he just gets sent right up into the top after losing control there.
Man.
Just kind of makes you wonder if... Yeah, it just kind of makes you wonder if he would have had a little chance to get control of that car. Would he have avoided getting tipped like that really hard? Or,
we're just talking about how fast that forward Brian Johnson was. As he was definitely a rocket ship. Those guys were hauling butt. And they come around the corner and unfortunately just smashes right into the 12. So that's going to be unfortunate for those guys. Doesn't look like it's going to send them behind the wall, but they're definitely going to be on pit lane for the foreseeable future. Don't know how long it's going to take, but trying to get that car back into race shape is going to prove to be difficult. Nick King definitely getting that dreaded meatball flag. So when that thing comes out, man, especially on a short track, you know you're going to be behind the wall for a while. As Kenny Powell also comes down, he'll be getting whatever he can find to cure what ails that 24 car. So he took a bad lick there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious! What a mess.
Man, yeah. Wow. What an exciting way where are we at in this thing? Not even 10 laps in, and we were already smashing them up against each other. Now we're doubled up again. That's just how fast it happens when you're at the short track. Let's get ready to go off on the pace car. He's going to be taking us around, and we're going to be trying to do it all over again, Joe. Going to be lining them up, and going to press that loud pedal, as Brian would say, and we're going to try to see if we can duplicate with a greater level of success.
Well, we've just made it into the double digits of laps, Big Al. We're still going to 250. Keep in mind, this first stage only goes to about 30-something. I want to get my 30 numbers right.
53.
Thank you. 53 as where we do 53, 90, and then the 250. That's what we're doing tonight. So we're doing 53 laps. We still got a ways to go, but the pace car is going to be off here any second, and we're going to be getting things going once again here at Bristol. So buckle up, folks. Be sure to get those. If you got a beer, crack it open. If you're more of a water fan, have that with you there, because it's going to be a good one. Let's try to will it to get these guys to go green for a while. And there's the green flag. We're green yet again here at the Super Cup Series.
Patrick what's in no time and getting her put in gear and gone. Matt DeCiani and Brandon Pastelacqua having better starts this time. Watching the 5 car. Greg Wachinski, as he is trying to make it around the outside, going to get tight right here. Can he actually make the position? Greg Wachinski starting this thing back in 10th place, actually trying to crack into the top 10 for the first time tonight. He's going to be doing just fine. And watch the 76 car behind him, Derek Heitman. Heitman is one of the guys that we actually had figured to finish pretty quick here. He started this thing up, man, in 7th place, so starting to fall back just a little bit, but you could never really count Derek out.
You really can. There's a really good pack going on right now, about 16th place as well. J.C. Evans on the outside right now of the 48 car of Jose Medina. These guys are 2 by 2 by 2 back here with Charles Van Schack, Tim Wortman Jr., David Gervais, Jeremy Clapper Newell. This is a nice little pack of cars. They're all playing nice right now, but something has got to break, and I think the outside line needs to form up a little bit if they want to try to make the pass on these guys who are just hogging the inside line down on the inside of this track here. There's very limited space to move track.
Yeah, well, we're not going to have a wreck for the lead, but we will have a little catastrophe going for 13th, 15th, to 20th. That's just what happens at the short track. Is he on pit road? Just 38 down there. Here he is. He's down at the base of the racetrack. No, that's a 94, actually.
Oh, black flagged for something, unfortunately.
Remember,
we'll find out later.
Apparently,
speaking of some action up at the front, Big Al, we almost had a pass here from Passalacqua, who just tried to make his way past Matt DiCiani for 2nd place. Didn't quite have the energy he needed down on the inside, but he's still looking for it. Behind him, we've got Paul Hill, who is making advances on Passalacqua, really just kind of putting his nose down there on the inside, saying, hey, I want to take this spot. I don't know why he's trying to pass on the inside. Maybe he's just trying to switch him up and get him to go low so that he can pass high. But right now, Paul Hill is definitely pressuring Brandon Passalacqua, saying, make your passer. I'm going to make one myself.
Yeah, well, definitely it's going to get a little tight there because Paul Hill finds himself in a paradigm sandwich as he actually has Josh Schaffner, who is Brandon Passalacqua's teammate, right behind him. Now, Paul Hill is trying to get around, but maybe this isn't the type of time to be trying to pass. I don't know. But he's going to push the issue no matter what. So I think we're going to see how that shakes out. But right here we got Derek Heitman, and he is going head-to-head with the 7 of Sean Signor. Heitman running on the high side. Going to try to maintain his position. Moving back up into what will be his place.
Sean Signor is a name that we've been seeing more and more these last couple of weeks make his way up into these top 10s over and over again. He's been getting some great runs, a little bit of bad luck here and there with some of the wrecking, but it's stuff that he's been caught up in rather than causing, and it's great to see another name make its way into sort of that regular rotation of guys that we see creeping their way up around the 10, 9, 10, 11 spots and getting a little bit higher every week. Right now, pardon me. Right now, Derek Heitman is currently leading Sean Signor. Heitman himself down 1 position from where he started. And ahead of him, Joey Preby, who got an end of line at the start of this race, is now back up to 7th place. And he's only 5 down from where he started this race overall. So he is making his way back up right now, getting ready to make the pass on Vincent Crowe.
I don't know. I'm seeing the 38 car on just the 94 car or the 38 car. Is that where I'm seeing the duplicates at there, truck?
That's right. It's 38 on the service, 94 on the paint.
Roger. It's kind of throwing me off because it's telling me I had action on pit road. Also, see the 43 Paul Olsen. He's going to be down and around a bit early on for service stops. Not sure what that's about. But back to the race surface. This thing is slowly trying to sift itself out, but Patrick Gitter is going to be running in the lap traffic right now. Probably a little bit sooner than he might have would have anticipated, but now we're going to see. Because remember, this is a hard track to pass, and it might just give him the checkup that the guys behind him need to close that door.
Might just get it.
Yo, just over halfway of the stage here. They're going to be encroaching on, it looks like the 24 Kenny Powell. He's going to go low. Shouldn't be a factor.
Shouldn't be. Let's see if he can hold on to that. Here comes the high line. Kenny Powell holding on to the middle, riding low a little bit, just enough. Not, he doesn't need to lift at all at this point. These guys got the speed to make it past him. Woo, big push right now from Paul Hill. Enough? Not quite. Couldn't quite get side by side with DiCiani there, but I bet he's going to try again. Oof. but Patrick Gitter, our leader, bounces off the wall. That kind of progressive damage can add up over time, and we're seeing a lot of slip angle here at Bristol out of some of these leading cars. They are really pumping through these turns, and that slip angle is going to eat their tires up way faster than I think they anticipate. Patrick Gitter might be starting to sweat here as we get closer to the end of the stage, because his tires have got to hold on the outside of this banked track while he gets pushed from behind to drive them as hard as possible.
I tell you what, I don't think he's really going to have to worry about it too much, because, well, I checked the forecast and it is traffic, lap cars as far as the eye can see. He's going to have to make his way through half the field just to get back around the clean air again. And I don't know how that's going to affect the handling characteristics of that 21 car, but he's going to have at least 3 cars behind him that are going to be trying to find out if he can actually hold them off, because it's going to be anybody's match. As you watch 26 of Paul Hill, he is still he is intent on getting around that 1 car of Matt Deason. It's our leader now, tries to go around the 25 of Greg Carr.
Oh, Greg Carr now. Why would he go on the outside? This is dangerous here. We got Greg Carr on the outside. He's the lap car. He's going to stay up there now while the faster line works its way around him. This is a very dangerous spot for Carr to be, for most of our leaders to be. Carr needs to figure out how to filter out. Right now, side by side with Matt DeCiani, he needs to filter out of this line and do it soon, and hopefully not get too caught up.
I'm going to say this, and everybody at home probably going to start throwing stuff at me, but, the guys that are driving better need to be the ones to go around. Carr's obviously struggling, so I think he's putting that car about the only place that he can hold it, which is high. If he were able to actually carve down, then he would come down, but I think right now he and so many others just are struggling. And I don't know where they got their setups. I think they might have got them out of the Kellogg's box this week, man, but what's going on?
I almost made the same joke. I got it on a cereal box top. Probably they sent in the box tops to get their setup this week. They ate their Wheaties. Oh my goodness gracious! Yes, I guess we're making references that the kiddies these days are not going to get. Just think about this, kids. You used to be able to send in the box tops from your cereal to get all kinds of fun stuff from the cereal company. And I guess setups was never one of them, but that's where these guys got theirs. If their tires are burning up at this point,
yeah,
they're driving too hard.
If there were a Cracker Jack's box today, setups would be in there. But, man, if you look down at the field, especially from the bird's eye view, you'll see that the 21 car has far more cars in front of him than he does behind him at this point. And that's problematic, especially, the one thing that he's got coming that's going to be the saving grace for a lot of these drivers is going to be the end of that stage, because never have I ever seen a group of guys wanting to see a yellow flag so bad in my life.
Yeah, they're going to be begging for it at this point, and I would be too. I'd be on my knees saying, please, cause that yellow flag to come out. Let me get down. Let me top up. Let me get some freshies. There's plenty of tires back there. Let me have a set of 4 and start this race over again, in my heart and mind, basically.
And that's the good thing about stage racing. It allows them to do just that, It allows them to go back to the drawing board, especially if you're still on the lead lap. Make some adjustments, change the brake bias. I don't know what all you can do, but you got to do something. Talk to the driver, because you got to go back out and then you got to do this again for a little bit longer the next time. Although there was only 1 caution thus far in stage 1, I think we still have a lot of possibility to see a lot of carnage here tonight.
Well, we do. We still have 200 laps to go. We've only just cracked now into the 200 lap margin here as we cross lap 50. 2 cars dead ahead of our man here. I think it's Bacon Zelenka and Jose Medina, potentially. Or no, that's the car we were just talking about. That's Colby. Whoa, not Colby. Colby's our producer. I was trying to think of Chris Crosby. Chris Crosby. I put the names together in my brain. So sorry about that, Kobe. But yes, we've now got some movement there. Got some movement. Good to see as Patrick Gitter makes the pass. Oh no!
Oh, caution's out for the second time here tonight, and I guarantee you this is premature. Wait, no, that is a stage break.
Yep. No, this was a Paul Hill crash, my friend. Paul Hill got spun. Oh, Preeby spins Hill.
Preeby, so that is going to be the stage as well. I guess it couldn't have come to the morning.
This will also be the stage. Yes, I believe so. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can look in the Wayback Machine, huh? Throw us back and let's take a look at that crash.
Oh, you see him just getting into the 26er, Paul, here, there. And I'm not sure if Hill was actually was checking up for the stage.
Let's see here.
Was the stage? It looks like the stage might have been over.
I don't think the stage was over by the time that yellow got called. That yellow was called for the wreck. I'm almost 100% sure.
Tell you what. It boats up and down. A lot of drivers coming down. Man, just more carnage right there. So unfortunately, the way we scored that is that does not. It was a caution that was a stage caution, so it will count as a stage caution.
All righty. We'll take a little look here. As everybody comes down pit road, why don't we take a little break ourselves here, folks, during this stage as Patrick Gitter, your current stage winner, leads things off pit road. We'll be right back.
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.
And we are back with tonight's continuing coverage of the Sugarlands Distilling Company 250 here at Bristol Motor Speedway, the last Coliseum. We were doubled up, lights off on the pace car, getting ready to take this thing back green. Patrick Gitter's going to get it done. He is down on the inside. Matt DeCiani up beside him. Green flag's out. Gitter wastes no time getting her gone. DeCiani this time's going to try to slow back in, but nope, he's got Brandon Pasolaco on the inside. Going to actually make that battle for third now instead of second place, as DeCiani is going to get along clear. The 87 car. Now we got Joey Pluby. He's going to slide up into the third place spot for the first time here tonight. Green flag racing continues. Josh Schaffner. Schaffner started this thing all the way back in 13th. Thus far, the biggest mover tonight. He's going to be shown in fifth spot. Further back, everybody's single file line all the way until we get to Greg Wachinski. Wachinski actually fighting for what's going to be 13th spot, as he is battling with the 33 of Randy Belk and the 88 of David Gervais. But Gervais gets by the 33. Now he's got actually going to continue his crusade. But other than that, we are single file getting it done here tonight.
Yeah, they got single file fast on this restart. I think they all realized you got to drive nice. You got to try to get through those first two. You got to try to get through those first couple of laps without getting the yellow out again. There are higher penalties here in this series for actually causing yellow during the first two laps after a restart. So you might notice that these guys drive a little bit safer during those two laps before they really let themselves kind of open it up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's to get those tires up to the operating temperature, man. You know, and it does reduce. It reduces casualties in contact. So there's a rule that's put in here, and we're watching as the 5 car Greg Wachinski is actually going forward. But I'm seeing it's a Paul Hill going backwards.
Oh no. Yeah, now, Paul Hill, he was up toward the front earlier. He was up a ways toward the front, really pushing around the third, fourth position spot. Look, he fell back a little bit. Joey Preby, he was the one who ended up catching who was it that caused who was the spinner in the earlier accident there, caused a little bit of a spin off of a guy who got a little bit loose. He's driving very fast today. He had the end of line earlier, so he's got something to prove to get back up here at the front. So Preby's sitting down 1 from where he started, just 1 ahead of Brandon Pasalacqua. And this little group of 3 right now that's out ahead in front, this is going to be a group to watch. I got a feeling that Gitter, DeCiani, and Preby are going to be going back and forth all night.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately for those guys, they're going to run into the same problem they ran into previously, and that is just literally nowhere to go. And they can be as fast as they can, but they're just going to catch the back a lot faster than they did the first time, and that's just going to lead to a little bit more frustration. And maybe we'll actually be able to see some green flag pit stops. We're going to have to see how stage 2 puts itself in the books, but we did have actually a pretty good, decent green flag runs in stage 1. So looking out the back window of the 9 car, J.C. Evans. J.C. Evans right now being scored in 15th. And he's definitely got his back windshield full as he's got Randy Drumhiller and Greg Wachinski behind him. They're 2 by 2 behind him. I mean, it looks more like the Hells Angels back there.
Yeah, and if we're just doing the math, Big Al, we made it 50 laps with, I think, 1 yellow. So not bad. If we're doing averages, not bad. But let's just see how the exponential chart kind of goes as the evening goes on.
Yeah, definitely. Lots and lots going on. Lots to unpack down there on the racetrack tonight. This is going to be one of those things where the guys have to pack the patience because, like I said, as we're watching the 19 car and these guys in the back of the pack, the leaders have already caught up to those guys right now. So no one would have thought, no one would have believed if we would have said, hey, less than 20 laps into the stage, you guys are going to be dealing with lap traffic again. But I think that's the tale of the tape here tonight. It's going to be patience. It's going to be strategy. It's going to be knowing how to drive around this racetrack. You mentioned earlier that J.C. Evans was kind of in the way, and it's like, well, you know, what are these guys going to do? They got to get around the best way they can, and the leader's just going to have to hunt and peck, right?
And you're going to ride that high line. That high line here at Bristol is everything. As long as you can stay up there and you can master it, and your tires are happy to keep you up there, you're going to be in fine shape. But these lap cars, the cars behind you, the cars in front of you, Bristol is such a fun racetrack. I'm looking forward to calling a few races here because it's been different, and then we got Talladega coming up later, so that's a completely different story. But this has been such a fun twist on the way that a lot of these guys work their long game strategies, and they have to adapt them for a short track. Just a lot of fun to watch. Let's want to do a quick shout out to the folks once again in the YouTube chat. Thanks for joining us. We got Crash Adams who says, good luck, boys. Have a good race from Love from Ireland. And he's calling for 13 yellows, and he still misses Brian's voice and wisdom here in the booth. Bring him back. Oh, we get Brian back in the booth. That'd be fun. But we've got, and then Steve Hoppett, thanks again for joining us. And yeah, Steve's looking for 9 cautions tonight.
9 cautions here, man. We'll try to drum it up. Hopefully, maybe we can get these guys into the same spirits as our lads over in Ireland. Maybe we can all get out there and feel a little better, eh?
All right.
Irish accent, that was just far more Jamaican.
I understand. You're doing your best. That's okay. I'm not going to even try mine. I just want to keep us PC.
Yeah, speaking of it's a little, man, and if we could just kind of zoom in on the 21 and look at exactly what he's going to have to contend with going forward. Not possibly going to be making a lot of passes, but, man, a whole lot of blue dots in front of him.
Yep. Let's see what's he's got. You said you're looking at the 21 right now?
Yeah, watching the 21, and this isn't fun for him because you can see, I mean, right now, everybody wants to race the leader, so he's going to be caught up in traffic for the foreseeable future.
And he just had a little bit of a slide there, Patrick Gitter, and here comes Joey Preby with contact on Gitter.
The caution's going to come out for right? That is never what you want to see. You don't want to see the lap cars take out the leader. But we talked about it, Joe. We actually just sit right here and we talked about it. If it was a cigarette, we would have smoked it. If it was a drink, it would be gone.
We talked about this exact thing. And Prevey, it was a tough situation. You had Gitter was trying to figure out where to put the car, but it's tough situation. Prevey kind of drove through him a little bit. I don't want to say he didn't, but I also don't want to say that it was, obviously he didn't try to spin him. But let's see what happens here. Gitter goes up. There's Carr in the 25 on the outside. Gitter goes up, finds his spot. Not bad. And then Prevey drives it up through the middle and just punches right into him.
I mean, this dumbass that I know just said guys going to have to act their patience at this point, especially in the race, because it's going to be traffic for the foreseeable future. Not to quote a dumbass, but
even the dumbass clock is right twice a day, right? Isn't that how the phrase goes? Something about clocks being right twice. A stopped clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, but if it's not plugged in, though, how would you tell?
Oh, digital clock! You got me, Big Al. You got me there.
Mic drop.
Legit. Oh my God. Well, here they come, everybody.
There are a lot of action going on down pit road, but I'm going to tell you, if I could actually just check the pulse of the field right now, and it's just, I don't know. It's like we've got a track magnet that's drawing everyone together, and it's just one portion of the track. The other part of the track is wide open, but just as everybody's riding together over here in the corner, that just seems to be the story. So it's not really working out too well. Later, still down on pit road, or the previous leader, I should say. And guys, I mean, from the time they pulled that thing off the truck, I mean, that's all they could do to keep it around, keep it on the rails around the track.
Yeah. Leader no longer. Patrick Gitter down 19 places. He's gonna give that to Matt DeCiani, who's out in front right now. DeCiani, Brandon Pasalacqua, Josh Schaffner, and Charles Van Schack round out the top four there. Sean Senior, we mentioned him earlier tonight. He's moved up also to 5th place.
And that would have been the second stage.
Exactly. I was about to say that exact same thing. That would have been stage 2 here, because stage 2 would have been right at 90. So I got a feeling, folks, we're going to slide right through it right now. With the green, we are go yet again, though. Good launch out of Matt DeCiani, Pasalacqua getting things lined up with Van Schack right behind him. Everybody looking to try to straighten things out as quickly as possible here, trying to keep that these 2 laps clean if they can.
Yeah, definitely 2 laps clean. That's what we're looking for. Then we'll try to get 48 more. But right now, Matt DeCiani, for the first time tonight, he is in command and control. He has the 6 of Brandon Pasalacqua, who's actually giving him way more breathing room, I think, than either one of those 2 guys gave Patrick Gitter here for the majority of the contest. But further back in line, you got the same guy. Here he comes again, the 87 car. He is on his way back to the front. Going to let everybody know it. Joey Prevey now. It's coming up around the 54. Randy Mullins. I think if we keep the camera right here, we'll be in the proper spot.
Yeah. You want to see what happens next? That's the place to keep the camera. The 87 car seems to be the one who's making the moves right now. He's looking for David Gervais right now, the 88. Can he get a spot? Maybe he's going to ride the outside and try to take that spot from him. We'll see.
Now 19 just gets checked up in front of the 21. 21 not actually able to catch a break, but he did actually slide by him. Now he's going to try to get by the 54, but that could have proved to be catastrophic for Patrick Gitter as well. But Gitter on the same crusade that the 87 is, trying to get back to the front where he was actually at before this whole thing went south.
We have 2 guys then, who are working really extra hard to make their way back up. Prevey still on the tail of the 88 of, this time the 83 of Tim Wortman Jr. Makes the pass on the outside. Wortman Jr. gives him the space to do it. I think he's recognized that the 87 will go where the 87 goes, and in this case, it's heading straight for Derek Heitman.
The Heitman has definitely been put in notice that these guys are in pursuit. Watching up front, though. Oh, man, the 19's still having a hard time back here. I can't look away. That's Jay Homack.
Yeah.
He actually had a little bit of a run in a little bit ago, but he's still, these guys are they're trying to mix it back up together here in the back, and it's I can't look away.
Well, please don't. You got to be my eyes in the sky on those guys back there, because I can't look away from the 87 of Joey Priebe, who's made his way up to 8th now, making passes on Bacon Zelenka. He's got a good spot, looking still to chase down Derek Heitman. Ooh, and behind him, Bacon Zelenka actually, excuse me, not behind him. I think that's Patrick Gitter sitting behind Joey Priebe right now. Hot on his heels.
Be interesting to see how this one shakes out, because remember, the last time these two got in contact, maybe the 87 will get a little taste of his own medicine, but I guarantee you, if the 21 wrecks it, he's probably not going to be able to walk away from it as easy as the 21 did. But he
looks like he's ready. Yeah, I was going to say, he looks like he's ready to give him a good shove.
Yeah, you think he's going to be as patient as the 87 was? Or you think he's going to be a little bit more aggressive? What are your thoughts?
Oh, my thoughts are more aggressive. I just watched Patrick Gitter follow the 87 like a hawk down to the inside line, just to stay on the bumper, just to stay clean. Let's see what happens, though. Once he gets close, I think he's going to find his line and keep it no matter what. And we're going to see what happens to the 87 as a result.
Well, further back in the pack, nothing to report here. Just that little slight contact between the 25 and the 48, but I wouldn't write home about it. I got a lot of other stuff that we could be talking about.
Sorry, Big Al, didn't mean to step on you there, buddy, but there it is. There it is. Oh, no. Gitter tried to get in front.
Okay, so, I mean, you saw what happened. And I'm going to tell you, Joe, I get paid to run my mouth. I get paid to talk. and it's gonna be. I mean, hey, I don't know, man. But I'm gonna just go ahead and throw the BS flag on that one.
The BS flag. To me, that looked like Gitter wanting to be ahead, wanting to take that spot, thinking he had way more energy than he did, and just kind of throwing it to the wind a little bit, and then he turned himself over the nose of the 87.
You know, they're going to unpack that. I guarantee you they're going to take that to the hauler. Both of those guys they're going to be sticking around tonight. All right, so they're probably going to miss their flights. But I'm just going to stay from the catbird seat here, just in the crap talking. You know, I don't think that's done. I think these two guys right now are definitely.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, they're rattled up. They're very, very agitated. And I believe the 87 is going to be an agitator.
I think you're right. I think that this is beyond done. Like there is still a story to be told here tonight. We have plenty of racing left to do, plenty of time for these two to come out to each other again, and then see another part of that story get written. So if you're sticking around, folks, you're gonna see some stuff.
We saw this. They both came through the field together. The 87 has been driving like a man possessed since the green flag first flew. And when he made his way up to the front, he didn't bring his patience, and he shoved his nose in there. Now, next thing you know, they both try to make their way back up to the front, but the 21 is trying to figure out why he's not up front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
good way to put it.
Put some spit on it. It'll be all right. It'll buff out.
Yeah, just move it around. That'll buff right out. Oh, my goodness gracious. What a race so far. We've had a good amount of green flag racing. We've had a good amount of wrecking. Just about the right amount of both.
Man, all we need right now is to catch two people getting it on in the dang porta potty down there, and we'd have a freaking love story.
Just that little bit of love would make it perfect. But instead, we're going to go around one more time.
Well, Tennessee Delight.
Tennessee Delight. Oh, my goodness gracious. I will have to take your word for that. Let's see. Steve says Big Al lives on military time, so a stopped clock is only right once a day.
That's a true story, boss man. And why is it stopped anyway?
Oh, that's so funny.
He's getting down and away here. And we're getting ready to take it back to the house one more time.
That's right. Where's that zone? We're looking for it.
That's premature.
I think we're... No, it's all right. It's all right. We're just going to go around again. Going to give it another big old stir. That's all. We're going to stir that pot one more time, folks. Thanks for coming along on this ride. It has been fantastic here. The Sugarland Distilling 250 from Bristol, live on iRacing with the ISCA Super Cup Series Thursday nights.
I like that Super Cup Series.
I like that too. You like that? I'm gonna keep doing that.
But now we got
I'm gonna keep that one.
And Jose Medina up front to lead this thing.
There we go.
For the first time, I do believe, this season for Jose Medina. He's got a good start out, though. Matt DeCiani's going to be trying to get around him. DeCiani's still staying high. He's got Brandon Pasalaka behind him, pushing him through. He's going to tread the needle now, coming to the inside. Jose Medina's going to go high. Can he hold it? He does. Pasalaka holds. He stays low.
He's down with Van Schack down there. Van Schack following Pasalaka. Can he stay safe? He does. Finds the middle groove. Goes back low again. Up high, Jose Medina has got a really good thing going, but he's going to lose a few positions in the process. Safely lose them, but he is going to fall back a little bit as Vincent Crowe also looks to get a squeeze in, seeing if he can get right by. And here comes Joey Preby. Now to make the pass on the inside. Very hard dive down to the inside.
Preby back to doing what Preby does best. That's sticking his nose in it.
That's right. That's right. And, it's a little bit ways back. I'm looking to see where
the 45
Peter is.
Into the high into the wall.
Oh.
That's actually catching him up a lot of bit there. And we're watching the 45 seats going to continue to slide backwards.
Yeah, that's not going to be something... that he can put to use, unfortunately. The wall here at Bristol doesn't make you any faster. But Joey Preby out is now kind of a bit of a man alone in this situation. The next person on his list is going to be Vincent Crowe, who's a little ways ahead of him, and he's got the speed to catch him. So we'll see what happens there. A little ways back from that, we've still got some 2x2 situations going on. Jose Medina getting unfortunately passed up by the 50 of Josh Schaffner. Josh Schaffner making his way up on the outside. Oh, wow. Jeremy Clapper-Newell almost getting spun by Derek Heitman. Heitman down on the inside. Clapper-Newell trying to find the inside of the track. Oh, all over the place. A really, really messy move there. Unfortunately, they're going to have to ride the outside wall a little bit before they get themselves back in order. But that's a couple of cars there in the middle. Jeremy Clapper-Newell just having a really hard time with the vehicle. Big slide from Clapper-Newell.
Down on that inside wall, be trying to keep it down low. Green flag still out. Not sure what's going on with safely. The car, but he is definitely going to have to try to get at least one of those horses on the lead.
Yeah, there must have been
go ahead.
I'm thinking there was an angry bee inside the car, and he was trying to swat it, and that's why the car was going left and right so much.
That works for me. Speaking of that, though, back up front. The 0-0 is working on the one. Charles Von Schack is actually working there on the inside of Matt DeCiani. These two in a little bit of a breakaway. Von Schack come onto the scene, and he is definitely here to show who he is and not wasting any time. Throwing us out there in the ring, jumping on some of the biggest bulls that we have in the ISCA. We're just halfway through tonight's contest.
Van Schack is a fast car. I've seen him race a couple of times before, naturally, and he has a very good grip on some of these short tracks. Really good time here at Bristol. Oh, very close to the bumper of DeCiani there. Almost got the floor around, trying to keep him. Hopefully, he'll be able to keep from spinning him and keep the race respectful. But Charles Van Schack, as you pointed out, has been really a strong contender, up 22 places tonight from where he started out. See who else we got.
That's pretty impressive right there. to make up 22 places here, especially in the ISCA. This guy started a ways back, back in 24th. You got David Gervais that's actually running in the top 10 now. David started back in 28th. So these two guys cracking the code here on actually gaining spots tonight, putting on a little bit of a mini clinic. Vadensack is not actually, he's not going to give the one any breathing room. It's taking these two a little bit longer to catch the tail of the field. But when they do, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Different lines completely that the 00 and the 1 are running.
And now my eyes are on Brandon Pasalacqua, because guess who's right behind him? It's Joey Preby in the 87. Preby has been diving down to the inside and just showing strength. Big pass now. 87 makes the pass on the inside. Pasalacqua stays tight on the bumper of that car, but he's not going to change his line. He's going to let Preby take that spot.
Yeah, the 00 just actually made a contact with the wall as he is still running behind the one who's going to actually catch lap traffic, as he's going to be reeling in the 24 Kenny Powell. Powell's going to stay low. No issue yet. Another lap car coming up. That's going to be the 49 car. 49 car being driven by Jeremy Clapper Newell. We watched him bounce off the inside wall just a little bit ago. Trying to stay out of the way out of the leaders. Is he going to do it? Got a little bit of a skip there. You ran him high.
Clapper Newell has had some trouble running anything other than the line he's been running. If he gets off that line, it looks like the vehicle just gets out from under him.
Yeah, we actually had the 00 and the 1 side by side there. Looked like the 00 was going to make it happen, but he actually reeled out and lost it at the last minute.
Yeah, if he keeps that, if he can find that upper groove and he can stay on that upper groove, he's got a chance to make a pass here on DeCiani. I'm talking about Van Schack. He can make the pass here on DeCiani, but he has to stay on that upper groove and try to avoid getting caught in the dirty air. Oh!
Dawson's out.
I see Joey Preby falling back.
Preby
Whoa!
All down, serious contact for him.
Let's take a look here. Wayback Machine, tell us what's going on.
Chris Crosby's going to have a black flag.
Oh!
It just hooked around on him. Well, it looks like it just snapped on him. You know how they snap to the right?
A little bit of net code, a little snap.
Both kind of snapped.
Yeah. That was an overdriving situation a little bit. We were talking about Clapper Newell's car having maybe a little something going on, a little bit of a something broken potential. Oh, you see, he hits the apron, and I think that just throws off his weight completely. And when he comes back up, his car snaps on him really terribly, and he brought it right up into Joey Preby there. I do not think that. Yeah, that was a racing incident, but one caused by hard driving.
This might be controversial, but Preby just missed a prime chance to hit the pace car. That's all I got.
He certainly did. He certainly did. Everybody's coming off pit road now here. We're going to have a short little, what's this, a convalescence I'm thinking of? Constitutional. That's the term I'm thinking of. Short constitutional here as we get everybody ready to go.
And all these guys, remember, they had 7 sets of tires, 1 on the car, 6 in the pit. So, I mean, kind of running the gamut on it. But I think everybody is I mean, we got 110 laps to go on this thing. So, you can do that one. I think 2 more sets of tires. But I don't know if we're going to see another caution or not.
Oh, I bet we will. I bet we will. We've got a couple different things going on the track tonight, Big Al. We've got Bristol itself being part of the story with the way that it eats up tires and drivers, and then we've got the drivers telling us a story as the night goes on with their vehicles and with some of their relationships that we've seen just in tonight's race form. There is a chance for just about anything still to happen caution-wise, I think, in terms of when it's going to happen or where it's going to happen. I don't know, but something in the air tells me we're going to have at least one more. That's going to probably be during these next 100 laps here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now, would I also love to see 100 laps of green flag racing? Absolutely.
Remember, that guy's still out there, and I told you, with him out there, we weren't going to see many long green flag pit runs, but we are on one now. Matt DeCiani wasting no time getting her done. He is now off in a way. He's got the 6, and Brandon Passalacqua is going to be looking down on the inside. Probably better feeling to have the 6 actually knocking on his back door than that 00, but he's not too far behind as he is slowly putting his nose into the fray. You'll see him right there, nestled in between the 6 and the 47 of Vincent Crowe.
That's right, and Van Schack is looking good. So is Passalacqua. So is Matt DeCiani. Unfortunately, it looks like Patrick Gitter, one of our previous race leaders, is out for the rest of the race. Potentially here, he has disconnected, but at this point, Matt DeCiani is taking things home and probably will lead this thing for a good number of laps here, unless Passalacqua has anything to say about it. Van Schack, though, really contending, really trying to put the screws here to. Passalacqua saying, "Go ahead and take it." Cycling back, very gentlemanly, giving him the spot.
It's too early to fight that hard, is what Brandon's saying. He's saying, going up there, your battle's not with me. Your battle's with the 1 car. You going up there, you guys duke it out. Now I'll come in and slide behind you guys and just, roll on by you with good tires. That's going to be his ultimate plan. Can you really blame him? We've seen that the 00 is not going to lay off of the 1. He's got fresh tires now. He's going to want to be all over him to try to make that pass while, A, they have clean air without any lap traffic around, and B, while he still has the best years of those good years on his side.
Yep, that's exactly right. DeCiani holding on to his line, telling the story to Van Schack that, no, we're not going to go anywhere other than up to the outside and a little bit down to the middle. So if you want to make this pass, you're going to have to do it with style, man. You have to figure it out. If it's going to happen on the outside, you've got to really have some speed going into that turn to get that car ahead. And if you try to take it down to the inside, same story. If you can't make the pass in 1, you're going to fall back. Here we go with another pass attempt from Van Schack. Gets it side by side. Oh, big down to the inside. Heavy contact to the inside wall. Van Schack just maybe biting off more than he could chew.
And that's not the first time that car's actually made contact with the wall. That time it was the inside wall. Previously, it was the outside wall. So, sometimes when you're back there trying to bend those diamonds, man, diamonds don't bend. And
no, they don't.
It's definitely a diamond. I mean, this guy's been doing this for a minute. I can tell that Ben Schack also has brought a lot. He come here to race. But, races take laps. They take hundreds of laps. They take sometimes 250 laps. And I think that's what this one is going to take tonight. Got a lot of guys come out here, had different plans, different objectives. Some of those guys aren't here. We're watching the 87. He is back there battling with the 0. Contact with the 33. Randy Belk. Caution is going to come out again.
Whoop, a little more good people are. Their Belk now is falling down the track a little bit, moving back and forth. Wants to try to maybe hold the brakes for a second there. There we go. Belk involved, Preby involved. Let's go back another step and let's see if we can see what's going on here. Here comes Preby up on the outside. He's right behind the 48. 48, here comes Van Schack. The 33 comes up, bites the 48. 87 right behind him. Tries his best to slow down and just get out of that situation as fast as he can. An unlucky spot to be for him, an unlucky spot to be for Van Schack, and definitely if you're Randy Belk.
Yep,
but that's going to be.
We'll be good on fuel here to make it to the end of this thing, but possibly good on tires. I don't know. We're not going to be able to let Ralph lead the flag stand tonight. So, Domasu, sorry, this is on us. I mean, I know you guys want to sit together and watch the race, but he's going to have to get his hot dogs to go.
Yes, good old-fashioned American courtship. We're spoiled again by green flag or by yellow and green flag racing. By yellow flags, I mean, that's what I'm thinking of. But we've got another racer, unfortunately. It looks like Chris Crosby is going to be out for the night, as we got a few more coming down pit road and getting things sorted. Pasalacqua, Joey Preby. And here is a little bit of what's going on. We've done 157 laps, folks. There's about 85 remaining. I think it says 85. I'm trying to see there. Yep. And a little bit overlap. I can't quite read it. 83, I believe, actually. Only 4 lead changes over those laps. And we've had 6 cautions for 23 laps. So we are, if you minus the 2 for the stage, we're at 4 overall cautions. So that was your over-under, Big O. What was that?
No, I don't.
Oh, they count then. Then my 6 is perfect. We've hit my over-under, and some of the folks on YouTube, your over-unders of 12 or 9 and 13, those are still possible. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, let's get everybody stacked up, back up, and ready to go. Matt DeCiani and Vincent Crowe leading things off. We are go, go, go yet again here at the ISCA Super Cup Series Thursday night. Matt DeCiani leading things off. Paul Hill right behind him. Vincent Crowe up very high on this restart, looking good in 3rd place. Van Schack, a name that we've seen, is filling in the 3rd place slot now. Crowe falls back to 4th. Van Schack moves up to 2nd, takes the outside line, looking very good right now with eyes for DeCiani there up in 1st. Maybe he can do now what he wasn't able to do earlier. And it looks like it's going to be a tight situation up here at the front. Oh, wow, Van Schack getting extremely close to DeCiani. The pass could happen any moment here, folks. We might see yet another lead change here, make it our 5th lead change on the night. That would be excellent.
Well, this
is not to be, not yet.
Yeah, this is the pass that will not end. These two have been going side by side. The 00 has been coming down, not actually able to get it done, and we've been watching them, and it's just sliding away from him. Joey Preby, though, back into action, and he is bound and determined to make the caution come out again.
You think so? Yeah. Preby's been driving like a bat out of hell. He's got that, that bat out of hell status quality to his driving so far tonight, where it's been a little bit of his way or the highway, but also I think that he's gotten a bit of a bad name because he's been just around some stuff that's been happening too. So it's a bit of column A, a little bit of column B, but we're going to follow things with Van Schack right now up on your camera. Van Schack still side by side, trying to put it to the screws, trying to put the screws to DeCiani, slide out of Van Schack with a big recovery from the 2nd place car. He's going to need to not do that if he wants to try to make the pass.
83 laps to go in the Super Cup. Sugarlands Distilling 250. I had to try it, man. He gets entangled with the 54 around. He goes. Going to take a chunk out of the 33 again. Caution is going to come out. Randy Mullins. Man, I think we're going to need a bigger trailer, boys. Once this thing is over, I think we might just have to have these meetings in the grandstand tonight.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. And there's after the flag, after the caution's out.
And the leaders?
Yeah, the leader gets hit by Van Schack. Just plows into the leader, I think, after the yellow was out. Let's take a look here. 87 goes high, makes his move, dives down to the inside, doesn't have the speed for it, checks up, gets caught up with the 54. Randy Mullins hits him. Up in front, it's Van Schack going around now. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like Matt just kind of tried to lock it up a little bit too much and cause a little contract between himself and the 00. You know, if we were selling that would have got us a whole season out there, but in real life, it was just incidental.
Yeah. What a shame. Yeah, that was an unfortunate one. Ooh, look at that turnaround.
Guys, it's been a busy night tonight. I mean, Joe, is this what you were expecting, man? Did you think it was going to be caution full?
I mean, I thought it was going to be. I always kind of flip a coin if it's going to be a caution fest or not, but I didn't think it was going to be such an interesting caution fest. Like, the cautions here are being caused by interesting wrecks, and they've been at interesting points in the race. We got plenty of green flag racing, plenty of the way that the chart looks, Big Al, is it's not just down and it's not just up. It's a perfect wave of action tonight.
Joe, the problem is the guy that I was telling you about, he's still down there. He's still down there. But I reckon.
Well, everybody's got a shot. Everybody gets a shot. You never know when it's your turn, when it's when your name is written on that wreck.
But just saying, ladies and gentlemen, we're good for at least one more.
We are. That's very true, and we're going to get that chance potentially here as we go around again.
Well, front's a little different. This time we got Paul Hill. David Gervais is actually shown. I don't see him on the racetrack. There we go. Paul Hill, Matt DeCiani is going to be. No, sorry. Paul Hill and Vincent Crowe is going to be leading this thing off for us.
That's right. Those two names we haven't seen up there on the lead yet. Vincent Crowe, this is the highest he's moved so far. So we'll see how he does with this restart. Let's see if everybody remembers which one. The skinny pedal is the one that got a hit. We've had a couple of weird restarts today with a few people forgetting that. So let's see if anything pops up. Paul Hill's out in front. We're getting ready. This should be the turn here, folks. We're going to get ready to go. We've only got a little bit less. Let's see, about 80 laps to go, a little less than 80 laps to go. Here comes the green flag. We are green yet again. I'm not good at math. I like NASCAR. I got to learn my NASCAR math. But out to the front goes Paul Hill. Josh Schaffner, second place. Vincent Crowe falls back a little ways, unfortunately, but he's going to hold off and stay in third place as we get things lined up a little bit. And people are finding their slots as we get things going here for what might be the last run of tonight's race. Let's cross our fingers and hope so.
Yes, we have a Heitman number of laps left, just a little bit less than. Got the 00 making its way around the track. He loves riding that high line, just making that contact with the wall. Speaking of Heitman, here he comes. 00 is going to be rolling up onto the back of the 76, just like a revolution.
Ben Shack, that 00 car, like we've said, is doing numbers tonight. 17 places up. Whoa, very close right there to Derek Heitman. Did not want to give up that spot either. Heitman almost slams it back, almost gives him a little bit of a door, but the two of them are working just enough to avoid hitting each other as Heitman's going to cycle back, and Van Schack is going to take the 6th place spot. Let's move up a little bit, see if anybody is moving around up in front. Josh Schaffner is still sitting right behind Paul Hill. Paul Hill's keeping it up near the wall. He's kind of got that similar line that some of our leaders have drawn tonight.
He's here. Carson's going to be out again. There it is. I told you he wasn't. I told you he was still here. Joey Please got to make contact with the 19. Greg Wachinski also around in that one. What is this, valet parking premiere? I mean, come on, guys.
Valet parking. I love it. I love it. Well, you know what we do? We go back in time, which is very easy for us here on the broadcast, and we see what happened. 87 got turned over the nose, came back, but was no worse for it, but caused a situation.
Yeah, man. Just unfortunate.
Woo!
These cars have a lot of power.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
These are not, toys. It's powerful.
Yeah, no. In that kind of situation, you get a perfect example. You got a car that was driving straight, was doing good, and then the power transfer between those two cars was just wild to see. You had Preby on the outside lose control a little bit, but then when he got slammed back up to the outside wall, all that energy just went back down on the inside of the track, and it ended up throwing that car into a spin.
They're loud.
Vroom, vroom. I think I took more of a Bill Nye the Science Guy approach to it, I admit.
But they're colorful. They're loud.
They are colorful.
Powerful.
Take a Carl Sagan approach to it. That's what I should do. All right. These guys are all talking it out, making sure they know who's where and what's what, as we are 184 out of 250, almost at the 50 mark here. Just a little bit more to go, folks. Stay tuned for more. We've got more racing coming up. We're not doing a commercial break yet. I know it sounds like it, but I'm not leading into one yet because we're about to go green here. But maybe on the next break here.
These cars are so powerful and colorful and loud that we can't leave.
No, we can't. We got nowhere to go. No, it's very true.
That.
And Josh Schaffner.
Tonight, he's going to be up front. He started this thing off in 13th, and now tonight he's going to be leading us here. The space car's going to get an out of the way, and that's going to allow the 6 and the 50 to get at it. These two teammates going to wait and see how this takes off. Schaffner commanding the lead. Brandon Passalacqua is going to actually go down low, and we're watching a 0-0 as he's got the 76 inside. Derek Heitman now making his way up into the top 5 for the first time tonight.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Schaffner holding on to the lead. Oh, a little bit of smoke from Van Schack on the outside there. Van Schack is really trying to get back up into that second place position where Passalacqua is, but they've both got very different lines right now. They almost meet on the straight and then separate really hard when we get to the turns there. Van Schack loving that outside line, whereas Passalacqua has been using the inside line most of the night.
Yeah, definitely having a little bit of a conflict there where these two lines come back together. The 45 just got a little bit of contact with the one car. One got the drive off. Not going to be an issue. 45 car probably scored laps down as he has not been having a good night here tonight.
No, sir. No, sir. And let's see how things fare for Van Schack, who now is up there. Brendan Passalacqua falling back a little ways, letting the front two cars have their battle. Van Schack looking on the 50. Can he make the pass? Big move. He's up by a nose. Can't hold on to it, though. He falls back again.
And I misspoke, the 45 car, Bacon Zelenka. Bacon actually on the lead lap and having a solid run here tonight. So sorry about that. My apologies.
That's all right. Yeah, Bacon Zelenka holding on really well. You know, Bacon's new to the oval world, so this might be one of the first times he's gotten a chance to go around Bristol.
He's doing it very well. The 87 car making his way back up into the fray. Now he's going to be battling against the one car, Matt DeCiano, being scored in 6th place. He has got the 76 of Derek Heitman kind of in front of him in the 7 car with Sean Signor in front of him. So this right here is what we call a choke point. Heitman's going to get down. Looks like he's going to let the 1 and the 87 advance.
Well, he better. 87, as we know, has had a bit of weird mojo around it tonight. Better give it some room.
I mean, yeah, you're still feeling it. You got 56 laps to go in this thing. I think we're not done wrecking, so I totally understand the concept of giving a little bit here.
Yep. Yes, sir. Just a little bit. And it still seems, 50 laps It sounds like both a lot and a little, depending on who you're asking here. It's going to fly by if we keep this green, but that's a lot of time still to make some moves here at a track like Bristol.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a track where a lap takes about 15 seconds. So every seven and a half seconds, you're getting a chance to make a pass. Oh, here goes Kenny Powell down on the inside.
He's got Derek Heitman coming up behind him, Paul Hill with the 47 car giving tow, Vincent Crowe. These guys are all trying to get around, but not running into lap traffic like we did in the first two stages. That part actually kind of surprises me, as it is a little off. The leaders right now, though, starting to pick up a little bit of a gap. He's got Josh Schaffner in the 5 car, and then Charles Van Schock in the 00 car. They're running away just a little bit from Brandon Pasalacqua. That lead right now is going to be somewhere about 1.3 seconds back. Pasalacqua's going to be over that P2 car.
Can he do it? Can he do it? We are down below the 50 lap mark, folks. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to smash that like, subscribe, the bell. We're bringing you the best racing on iRacing every Thursday night with the ISCA Super Cup Series. So we'd love to have you join us again next week or whenever we have our next race. We'd love to have you. So be sure to hit that button and stick around. Tell your friends. Right now, let's stick around with Josh Schaffner, who is leading things far and away right now. They're about almost a second and a half ahead of Brandon Pasalacqua behind him.
Yeah, these two got to be enjoying the lead that they're actually getting in a little bit of a cushion, because it's actually allowing those who just reach each other, kind of just like mano a mano without actually.
Yeah.
And Schaffner now actually able to run some strategy. And, man, Josh Schaffner hasn't been up front in a long time, so it's good to see the corn man back up front leading this thing.
Yeah, it's a proper duel now. We got it's a situation where these two guys can just focus on racing each other, but it looks like Van Schock is not as intent as he was earlier, or has a little bit of fall off maybe from the tire situation, as he's been driving pretty hard. We've noticed since the beginning of the race he's had some slippage, a little bit of slip angle on the vehicle in general as he's been driving it. So Van Schock might be suffering at this point.
Yeah, and I'm just watching to see how this thing, there's something going on. I can't see it, I'm looking for it, but there's something going on here.
Yep. Are you quoting that Buffalo Springfield song? There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear.
Yeah, there you go. The 26 car working around the 76. These two battling. Caution's out.
I don't like that.
That's what it was.
Bacon Zelenka. We missed Mr. Zelenka right after I cursed him by saying how good he was doing. Let's see what happened. Rewind it. That was me talking backwards. No. Oh, I don't know.
That's Randy Drumheller.
44.
Breaker. Hey, man, I don't know what kind of lead Kenny's running here, but I guess roof numbers are optional. It would make it easier for me to do my job if I knew what car that was. It's a good thing I'm an expert professional, and I'm going to say that's the 44 car, Randy Drumheller.
Well, you are an expert professional. We're going to roll with that, and we're also going to roll with a quick commercial break here while the guys are coming down and getting the tires on and everything topped up. We'll be right back here on ISCA Live. Don't go anywhere.
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.
Welcome back, folks, to the ISCA Live Super Cup Series. It is the Sugarlands Distilling 250 here at Bristol. We're getting ready to go green again with Derek Heitman and Josh Schaffner, this time up in front. Unfortunately, it looks like Bacon Zelenka may have gotten a meatball and has to get a few things fixed back there. We'll see if we get him back on the track, but in the meantime, we're on 215 out of 250. And very soon that pace car will be coming off, and we'll be looking for that Geico restart zone to get things kicked off again for hopefully some more green flag racing straight to the end. Here comes the restart zone. There goes the pace car, and we are green yet again on the Super Cup Series. Hell of a start right now out of Heitman and Schaffner, side by side with Van Schack also up there in the front. Down on the inside, Matt DiCiani, who was a race leader for a lot of this race, looking to get that position back if he can. Heitman, though, way out in front by himself. These guys in the back. Ooh! Contact between Pasalacqua and DiCiani. Maybe a second time here. Let's see what happens. We have a line of 6 cars here that are 2 by 2 by 2, and I am just on the edge of my seat right now. Oh, no! It's a spin!
That's going to put the one up into the wall, and that's going to bring out the caution for indeed the 8th time here tonight.
Sean Signor with the accidental spin on the outside. Let's see what happened there. I think he accidentally spun Matt DiCiani. We'll see here. Yep, he bounced off the wall a little bit, got up into 2 of them. DiCiani taking most of that spin, blocking the track. That calls out the yellow. Let's get a little wider view on that from Signor. Signor high into the turn. Ooh, very high into the turn. Bouncing off the wall. Just transfers that energy down into DiCiani.
Uh-oh, Signor.
Uh-oh. Well, he's still looking like he's keeping the car straight. Still got that 7th place position. But it looks like Sean Signor actually is down pit road now. That's going to leave Heitman and Schaffner out in front, with Van Schack still hungry for more positions. That man is up 21 positions. Josh Schaffner himself up 11 positions. So the guys in the front have got something to prove as we get ready for the last 30 laps here at Bristol.
Yeah, it's getting ugly here, boys. I mean, we've been down here all night. We've been swinging at it, but now it's starting to get bloody.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're getting to the point where people are getting testy.
Yeah, cars are looking worse for wear. Drivers are looking long in the tooth. Joe, you're even looking old.
You know what, Big Al? I'm feeling kind of old. I'm getting older every minute. As a matter of fact, I'll do the rest of the race like this with my old man voice.
Yeah.
I sound a little bit older, a little bit wiser, you know. You can trust a voice like this.
Yeah, but you smell old, too.
Oh, yeah, that would be the funk. That would be the funk, you know. Just comes from getting old. I don't know what else to say.
Ah, yes, the old man funk that everyone can look forward to. Ugh, I will not. I will dip myself in Old Spice when I am of the age, and that is how I will avoid that problem. Anyways, enough of that. We've got just a handful of laps left here, folks. If you joined us from the beginning, thanks for sticking it out. If you joined us for the end, hey, you're here for the best part. But we had a hell of a race so far. It's been a crazy one. Lots of ups, lots of downs. Here toward the end, a few more cautions, but we're looking at the green flag. There it is. Derek Heitman and Josh Schaffner leading things off here for what is going to be the end yet again of the Sugarlands Distilling 250 at Bristol.
You gotta do that Super Cup thing.
Oh, you're right, because it's the Super Cup Series Thursday night race.
And there you go. And now who's leading that race? None other than the 76 car, Derek Heitman. He is bringing him around the corner. He's got Josh Schaffner behind him with precautions out yet again. Got him mixed up.
Oh, no.
I've got to figure out what exactly took place. Big shout out, big whoops to our fan back there that called 11. At first, when that happened, I was like, this guy's got to be in the witness protection program. Now I'm thinking, this.
Yeah. Now that's big brain at this point. Which ref did you know? How did you know this was going to happen? This is some insider trading. I'm trying. My brain wants to come up with insider trading jokes. I'm not so sure they translate too well into NASCAR. Anyways, that was a situation where it looked like J.C. Evans and Randy Drumhiller potentially were involved there. Let's see. Oh, the Wayback Machine's moving pretty quick right now. There's the number 9. Self spin on the 9. One of the cars runs up and hits him.
And then he turns into
yeah.
I think that might have been maybe a little bit of a mechanical disconnect or something maybe that occurred there with the 9 car. Because he's not going to be making his way down onto pit road. Probably not making any friends or fans down there, but you know what, man? It'll buff out.
Yeah, you just kind of want to hope that when someone's car is turned backwards like that and they're in the middle of the track, they just slam on the brakes and hold on to those brakes. Because when you see a car just start to slide down the track and then everyone starts slamming into him, the first thing I think to myself is he better be unconscious in that sim rig right now and unable to hit the brake pedal. Because if he's just letting his car slide back, for a show, hit the brakes. And if you did hit the brakes, good on you, number 9. I'm not coming for you. Coming for other people.
So is that but when do you, is that etiquette? When do you learn that? I never read that anywhere.
I think that's etiquette. I think it's a matter of I don't think I read it anywhere, but I remember hearing it, when I was doing road racing too. It's just a matter of make your car stationary. So until every car passes you, they can see and predict where the obstacle is going to be. So if you can give them a stationary obstacle, even if you're not going anywhere, you just spun your car. If your car is spun around, get stationary until everybody passes you, then pull back into traffic. That's all there is to it. But that's the way I see it.
We're not done yet, because that guy I was telling you about is still down there. Lights off on pace show. You got it, Joe.
All right, here we go. We're going to go into the Geico restart zone. That flag's going to wave again, and we're going to take off on the ISCA Super Cup Series Thursday night race. I'm going to do that every single time we restart. Here at Bristol, it's going to happen quite a few times. Here, Derek Heitman takes it away again. Josh Schaffner and Charles Van Schack behind. A good line of cars back there, but it's Heitman out in front right now with 20 laps to go.
Yeah, Heitman definitely's got to be enjoying the view that he gets over his hood as he can see nothing in front of him, and he wants to keep it that way, not wanting to see the caution or the pace car. Right now, we are clean and green as Brandon Passalacqua seems to be off the pace. He's down on the inside. You only let a host of cars go by to include the 87 car, Joey Preby. The 26, Paul Hill, also goes by. Now Brandon's going to jump up in line, and he's going to be taking what's going to be 6th place.
Brandon Passalacqua down just 2 places from where he started. We've got some hard drivers, though, we've already talked about in the lead tonight in the contention. We've got Joey Preby, who's only down 2 places, but he started this race with an end of line. So he's run through about 25 cars to get where he is tonight. Josh Schaffner's up 11. Van Schack's up 21. Yeah.
He's literally run through 20 cars.
He's literally run through 20 cars. Very true, very true. Between the ups and downs that we've seen from that 87 on this race so far. Right now, he's looking for either up or down on the 0-0 of Van Schack. He's trying to make that pass to get up into 3rd, take that podium spot away from him. Oh! 87 off the wall. That's not going to help his ambitions. As Paul Hill tries now to make the move on Van Schack. Hill puts his back into the nose of Joey Preby. Both of them hold on to it. Thank goodness. Just not having the speed they need, and now their cars are probably damaged. This is going to be a tough situation, I think, for Paul Hill and for Joey Preby, especially if they keep taking these little dings and pings off the wall and off each other.
Yeah, just 14 laps to go, 13 at the line. Derek Heitman still your leader here. 3 wide further in the back.
Whoa!
Get ugly. It's the 87 into 26 to go by. Not sure what was going on. Just got 2 cars that didn't want to move. I think it was the 44 and the 45, but hey, I'm not the guy that's going to tell everybody, okay?
Yeah, that was wild. The 44 just kind of becoming part of the situation in a matter of seconds. Very good avoidance out of most of the people running out in the front right now. And as we've mentioned several times, Bristol managing the traffic here is part of the race. In some races, you get lucky and you might get a lap here and there. Nah, at Bristol, half the race is going to be ahead of the other half by the time you get to the end of the race, especially this kind of situation where you've got people down several laps. You know, we've got people down who are racing down in lap 206 right now. So there is a lot of different experience on the track, a lot of different lap numbers. So let's see how things shake out with less than 10 laps to go.
That's right, 10 laps to go to 76 is your leader. He is sitting on about a 0.7 of a second lead over P2, which is Josh Schaffner, and he doesn't seem to have any immediate threats in front of him, which plays well for him. Behind him, though, a totally different story, as the 26 is battling the 00, and the 47 is battling the 48 further back in the field. Side by side, that is where the balance is going to lay. I don't think the caution is going to come from the front if you were to see another one.
Uh-oh. Creepy's around. Creepy's around, but he's down on the inside. We're going to keep it green. We're going to keep it green.
Yeah, very, very, very fortunate for everybody involved there. Hopefully he'll be able to get that car going again, and the green flag racing will continue. But it's hard to get these things rolling again, especially in the right direction.
Wow, and what a situation for Preby, who's been on the lead lap for a lot of this race, now down a lap due to that situation, bouncing off the wall. Still driving, though, and we're still green. Lap 246 of 250, folks. Get on the edge of your seats. Get on your feet here. Derek Heitman is taking it away with Josh Schaffner right behind him. Charles Van Schack right now. He's 2 or 3 wide back there, way ahead of Paul Hill and Brandon Pasalacqua, which is your closest battle for the 3rd place slot on the podium. We're at 248 of 250 now. Derek Heitman still way out in front. Josh Schaffner still way ahead of that group. So let's see who's going for 3rd. Van Schack holding off Paul Hill. Paul Hill down to the inside, squeezing Pasalacqua. Pasalacqua and Hill still down on the inside, trying to get past Van Schack. We're on 249. Coming around, looking for that white flag out in front. Van Schack on the outside. That's where the speed's at. Can he hold off these two? Hill not able to find the speed still. Pasalacqua just getting a little bit too passive back there as the white flag flies. We're on the final lap right now. Derek Heitman taking it around, taking it home. Josh Schaffner looking good, but he's not going to be able to get close enough as they cross the line. It's Derek Heitman, Josh Schaffner, Charles Van Schack, Paul Hill, Brandon Pasalacqua. Wow, that top 5 group. What a set. But let's give it up for Derek Heitman walking away with the Sugarlands Distilling 250.
Man, solid run for Derek there.
It was. It was a walk-off homer. Let's talk about the unofficial results here. Break it down real quick. Derek Heitman in 1st, Josh Schaffner in 2nd, Charles Van Schack in 3rd, Paul Hill in 4th, Brandon Pasalacqua in 5th, Tim Wortman Jr. in 6th, David Gervais in 7th, Randy Belk in 8th, Matt DiCiani in 9th, and Jose Medina in 10th.
11th place is going to be Vincent Crow with Greg Carr in 13th. 14th, Jeremy Clapper Noel. 14th, Randy Mullins. 15th, Joey Preby. 16th shows Randy Drumhiller with J.C. Evans in 17th. Bacon Zelenka, Sean Signor, and Kenny Powell round out your top 20.
And let's take it home. Jay Hone in 21st, Greg Wachinski in 22nd, Kevin Zosiak 23rd, Patrick Gitter led a lot of this race, 24th, 25th, Chris Crosby 26th, Paul Olson 27th, Brian Johnson 28th, Nick King, and 29th, Derek Jacobs. That was a good set there. We've got some burnouts that I can see from here on the blimp that are looking pretty good, but let's take a little ad break, and when we come back, we'll be doing some interviews with the leaders of tonight's race, so stay tuned.
getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hello, everybody. We are back with the ISCA post-race show from the Super Cup Series, the Sugarland Distilling 250. I'm Joe LaCastro here with Big Al, and we're going to interview some of the racers from tonight's race, starting with the third place finisher, Charles Manchak. Charles, welcome to the booth. How was your race tonight?
First race with this league, and of course I wanted to stay out of most people's way, but of course it's Bristol, so that wasn't going to happen.
I was about to say, welcome to the league also.
Yeah, it wasn't in the cards. Felt good. I stink at qualifying. I smacked the wall both laps, didn't even put a lap down. I think practice I was top 10 speed, and just that one wreck where the car was there, and I forget who the one car tried to avoid, got like locked it up, came in front of me, gave me about 40 seconds of damage that I couldn't fix because I didn't want to lose my position. And I went up to the top and stayed up top. I couldn't get to the bottom with that damage, whatever, even how minor it was. I couldn't get to the bottom and stay down there. Every time I made a run on someone and went under, it just would drift up, and I'd have to let off or I'd wipe them out. So yeah, that damage did it for me not to run at the bottom. Yeah, at the bottom, I run the bottom here and just try to save tires, and at the end just go. And I just couldn't get to the bottom in the last half of the race. I thought I was sitting pretty with, I believe Derek took 2 tires. I had 4, based off my tire wear, even though I was running the bottom, the lefts were wearing a little bit worse than my rights. So thought I had a shot, but just too much, just lost momentum.
Well, we were watching some of your moves earlier during the race, and we did notice that every time you went down to the inside, you would kind of have to pull back a little bit, end up back behind them at the end of the passing zone there. But it looks like even despite the damage, despite the situation, despite this being your first race with a new roster of rivals, you came out on third. Very, very good. And we're looking forward to seeing some more racing out of you. Are you excited for some different style of racing? We got Talladega coming up. Are you pumped for that?
Absolutely hate it. I hate super speedway. Every time I get, doesn't matter, not officials. I don't run official super speedway. I will never do it. But league races, I don't have a team here. Free agent, by the way. I don't have a team here. But the other leagues I'm in, when I get in there, it's like, listen, if I'm going to get wrecked, do it in the first 8 laps. I don't want to ride around playing follow the leader and then get wrecked on coming to the yellow or coming to the white or coming to the checker. And that's generally what my prayers are never answered. I want to be wrecked in the first 10 laps. You'll never hear me scream, complain, or nothing being wrecked out first 10, 20 laps of the super speedway. That means I don't have to sit there and wait to get wrecked.
All right. Well, we're still looking forward to seeing how you do in that situation, even if it's not going to be one of your favorites. But in the meantime, anyone you want to shout out to or say thanks to tonight?
Yeah, I kind of, when I'm driving, I have, I heard you guys, I'm sure I heard you guys. I listen to the broadcast while I'm racing. I have one headphone off, so yeah, I listen just to get the idea, plus a little bit of strategy. I can hear. I know it's a little delay, but some stuff I can pick up that can help me. To the Abbins, I know Kevin. I believe Kevin. I guess he gets home late. He got me in tonight. Dave Fooge for getting me in here. Fogey Fooge. I don't know how to say his last name. Everyone doesn't know how to say my last. Yeah, and everyone doesn't know how to say my last name, so I get it.
How do I say it?
It's Van Scoik.
Van Scoik?
Doesn't look anything like it, but that's how he goes. Yep.
Well, I'm going to say it right forever now. Van Scoik, no problem.
There you go. And then, my teammates, I have a team in the other, Goat Race and Diecast is my company, so I do diecast, customs, all that stuff, so
cool.
I'll pass along my promo code GoatRacing23 at the website GoatRacingDiecast.com for 10% off your entire order, for the exception of customs, but 10% off new pre-orders, and I have probably 2,000 pre-owned lots that I've bought. So that's all there. I do lives every Thursday, but yeah, and then just the drivers that were up there, it was nice to bang on, beat and bang a little bit, have a little respect. No one retaliated, because some leagues you hop into, you give someone the bumper and they think you wrecked them, and next thing you know, you go by them and you get hooked. So it was hard racing up front, clean racing, and I respect the other two and everyone else that was up there. Brandon and the one car, I don't know what his name was, but he was raced very clean.
Hell yeah, that was Matt DeCiani up there racing with you in the one car. So thanks again for your time. Charles, would you prefer Chuck or Charles Van Scoik?
Chuck. Yeah, I didn't know when I joined the server that was going to follow me there, and I'm too lazy to change it. So Charles it is, but I go by Chuck.
Not a problem. Hey everybody, that was Chuck Van Scoik, third place winner. I'm going to say that tonight. Thanks for coming up, and we'll look forward to having you down. I'm going to pass the mic over to Big Al, who's going to talk now with Josh Schaffner.
Josh Schaffner, Big Al up in the booth. You got me.
Loud and clear, Al.
Hey, long time no talk, but the same old Josh, man, back up tonight on the podium. This time, you brought it home in P2.
Yeah, great to be back on the podium. It's been a long time coming. Had a few good runs here the last few weeks. Have been chipping away at it after kind of a rough start to the season there with super speedways and some DNFs and a little trouble at Phoenix. But been stringing together some good runs, and I know at Homestead and Martinsville there maybe had a little bit of tough luck. Was in position for maybe top fives there as well. But was great to have a good run, top 5 last week at Darlington, followed up with Bristol here, and special paint scheme tonight, so glad to put that on the podium. That's a paint scheme that just kind of honors the start of our Paradigm team at Bristol a couple years back, and we'll probably run that scheme every time we're here.
I dig it, man. I was actually enjoying the new paint schemes that we actually did see tonight, as well as the throwbacks. But like I said, the same old Josh. Once you got up front of this thing, man, it was like you were riding a bike. I was like, I felt like I was just calling the old Josh again, up front, beating and banging and doing your thing. Man, hopefully you'll be able to stay up there and keep this momentum going. How are things at Paradigm?
Yeah, things are going great. The team's working hard, and for me, getting back in the car just a little bit more in the off season and putting in a little bit more time has definitely helped. And not to say it wasn't last year, but just schedule and family things that always has to come first. And there'll be times of the year you have to do that, but I've been putting time in and just logging laps and really just trying to. I'm usually a really patient driver and just maybe needed to kind of unwind some bad habits of late last season, the summer, when just nothing seemed to go my way, and just really coming back into being patient, letting the race come to me, but also being aggressive when that third stage comes around and making sure we're making good lap time at the end of the race.
Yeah, definitely love seeing you guys running out there. Paradigm guys running pretty strong. Has the smaller teams affected you guys at all, the smaller team sizes, or you guys just seem to find strength in smaller numbers anyway?
Yeah, I mean, the team's still intact behind the scenes, but obviously it does change the race in the ISCA. The communication is a lot different, obviously, in different channels, and it changes things. But really, at the end of the day, behind the scenes, we're still Paradigm, and we love racing together, working together, and then that part of it hasn't changed.
Well, speaking of working and racing together, next week we head to my home track, Talladega. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts going into that? Kind of a hard one to predict, but go ahead and throw something at us. Tell us what we can look for.
Yeah, just try to stay out of the big one and be there at the end. I mean, ideally, you'd like to get stage points, but also you want to be there at the end, and it's such a balance of what that looks like. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to do anything abnormal. I'm just gonna race. I'll be up front if I can, and I'll ride if I need to, but I'll also try to get with our teammates and work together, and we've had a lot of success doing that in the past, and hopefully we can all find each other, work together, and get ourselves to the front and just take care of each other along the way.
Well, you're definitely running strong and looking good tonight, brother. Who are you shouting out for your second place finish?
Yeah, well, obviously congrats to Derek on a great win and really a good pit strategy call there at the end. Kudos to him. And yeah, Chuck, first night in the league, raced around him a lot. Congrats on getting on the podium first week out. And obviously Paul and teammate Brandon round up the top 5. And obviously want to thank the ICA and Kenny Powell and Joe in the booth, you both, Big Al and Kobe behind the cameras, and obviously our great sponsors, OB Builders and Ram Welding and Pioneer Seeds, and also getting ready for another busy planting season here in the Corn Belt, and huge shout out to our farmers and ranchers across the country, and wishing them a safe planting season and a successful 2025.
Roger that, brother. Congrats to you and taking places where corn don't grow. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you guys. Have a good one.
Okay, Big Al, I'll take the mic away from you, and I'm going to take it up to Derek Heitman, the first place finisher tonight. Derek, can you hear us?
I got you.
Very, very good. Well, you were about the fourth or fifth person to take the lead tonight, so you led a pretty good number of laps. But you were really dominant toward the end there. Tell us a little bit about the beginning of the race, though for you. Was it when did you feel that? How did you feel going into tonight's race? That's what I want to get to the core of.
I don't really like Bristol, so I can't say that I really felt the greatest. But yeah, I mean, the whole first 210 laps of the race, I guess, I just decided just to bide my time and race, just run a pace, not try to drive too hard, just like run a speed that's comfortable to me, where I'm not driving hard but I'm not driving too slow. So I just figured I'd run it like that, collect the stage points, whichever ones I get, and not wreck the car, and try to be there at the end. And that late caution, I'm actually surprised I'm the only person that took 2 tires. I figured everybody would have, but I'm glad that I knew to do that, because that obviously put me in the lead, made my job a lot easier when I decided it was actually time to drive hard, with what was that, 45 laps to go in the race, and paid off for me. Had a couple cautions, unfortunately. I just wish we could have done a lot more racing tonight, but happy to come away with the win.
Yeah, and it looks like you did. You bided that time perfectly, walked away with a win, and I will say, walked away, you had a very dominant machine toward the end of this race. Every restart, you were out in front. You're hard to catch. Was there anyone you thought might have given you a run for your money though toward the end of that? Like maybe you had Josh Schomper back there, Van Schack. Anyone that you thought was going to be actually the one maybe to unseat you?
I mean, Schaffner was starting to come on strong a little end of the race, last closing laps there, but I noticed, like, I didn't think he was going to get to me, so I eased up on the driving a little bit, and I seen the big pack of lap cars ahead of me, so I really didn't want to catch them and have to deal with that mess. So I just backed it down a little bit. It's just unfortunate that that the next gen car is the way that it is, because I'll be honest, once you get the lead, as long as you just drive it and you're flawless and you don't make any mistakes, it doesn't matter if you burn the tires off it or not. I mean, someone's not going to be able to pass you on the bottom. I mean, that's just unfortunately the way that this place is. So as soon as I got the lead off that pit stop, I all but knew that it was a wrap.
Yep, and you wrapped it up perfectly. Is there anyone that you want to shout out to or give a thank to tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for enduring this broadcast. I'm sure it wasn't a very fun one to call, considering we spent way too much of it under yellow. Shout out Kenny for putting on the league. Well, yeah, you can tell I'm real enthused about that, huh? Shout out Kenny for putting on the league. Yeah. I mean, it's normally a pretty good league, caution free. I think we only had 2 cautions last week, but tonight was just something else. Shout out Ken Byron for building ridiculously fast setups each and every week, even though that depending on the track, it doesn't always have the best driver in it, unfortunately. So I'm glad that I was able to come away with it this week and show all the hard work that the guys over at the shop put in each and every single day to put in all these laps. So I know that when they noticed, the variance in weather. I mean, who does that? I mean, how many different setup shops came out with multiple setups this week? For different weather in the race. So kudos to them for really buckling down yesterday and getting us right for a colder track temp that's not open. And that's really all I got. Shout out Bridgestone on the car, main sponsor, Napa Auto Parts. Tommy Gossett Bus Lines, all the sponsors. So, Victory One Esports, Reco.gg. That's all I got.
Oh. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, and we'll hopefully see you back up here in the winner's circle very soon, okay?
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You take care. Bye-bye. And that's going to be it for us from the ISCA Super Cup Series Thursday night race here from Bristol. It was the Sugarlands Distilling 250. I am Joe LaCastro, joined here by Big Al. Big Al, how are you feeling after that race?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm whooped. I mean, me and the flag guy, I saw him, his old lady had a big old pack of ice on his shoulder. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, just a long tonight. Hopefully it was exciting for everybody at home. And speaking of that, thanks to the fans. Thank you guys for interacting with us. Thank you for putting up with us. I hope you enjoy the show. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks for Kenny for putting on the league, giving us a place to talk. Joe, thank you for giving me somebody to talk with. Hey, and Kobe, thanks for giving me something to talk about, as well as the drivers, man. Good weekend and good riddance.
You know what? I couldn't have put it any better myself. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. If you're looking for more information, ISCARacing.com is the place to go. Thank you again to Kenny Powell. Thank you, Kobe. And we'll see you all next week. We've got, I don't know if Las Vegas is next week, is it? Is it Talladega or Las Vegas next week?
I think it might be Las Vegas.
I think it's Las Vegas. Okay.
Vegas.
I might have been wrong most of the night, but Las Vegas is coming up. We've got some more racing for you here on the ISCA Super Cup Series. So we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody. Good night.
I found the ISCA after I'd been in the service for a long time. I'd been in iRacing for well over a decade and spent most of my time in NASCAR series, a lot of fixed racing for the most part, and really just got to a point in my iRacing career where I really wanted to get involved in open setup racing versus fixed, partially because I was just looking for a little higher level of competition, maybe a little cleaner driving and maybe get away from some of the challenges that go along with fixed racing on the service. And it took me a while as I was really searching out leagues, because I kind of had a very specific thing I was looking for. A, I wanted to be an established league. B, I just really wanted clean, quality drivers to be racing around. And once I found the ISCA, I found out really quick that it was going to check all those boxes, and I've been with the ISCA ever